From high-end restaurants to grocery stores, WRAL Investigates bought dozens of types of sushi to see if the seafood you're buying is correctly labeled.
Sarah Kruger followed the process from the store to the lab. She joins us now with what the WRAL Investigates team found.
Love it or hate it, sushi is a soaring business in the U.S. With sushi rolls on a roll, WRAL Investigates wanted to know, are you getting what you pay for? Well, we found shark, yes, shark, passed off as a common fish. Our experiment started with takeout orders from several Triangle area restaurants. From there, we documented what we bought, cut samples, put the sushi in numbered test tubes.
Number 5.
Washed the scissors and laboratory tweezers between each time. We rinsed and repeated for dozens of samples, then popped them into the freezer before delivering them to our scientists.
The title of the class is Seafood Forensics.
UNC Chapel Hill biology professor John Bruno has a passion for the ocean and what lives in it. That includes how we consume it.
Mislabeling is a really big problem globally.
You may remember Bruno from a previous WRAL investigation into improperly labeled local North Carolina seafood. This time, we didn't focus on where the fish was from. Instead, if the sushi ingredient listed on the menu is what's on your plate.
Red snapper is almost always mislabeled. Squid and octopus can be mislabeled.
Our seafood provided his students with their big project this semester.
DNA barcoding involves a couple of steps, and the first thing you have to do is to get the DNA out of the cell. And it's only about a pea-sized piece of seafood tissue is all we need. And then we warm the tissue up. Once we get that separated, we amplify it.
The DNA is then sent to a local lab where it's sequenced so it can be compared to a massive database of fish DNA to detect the exact species. So, how did our sushi do? Out of 27 pieces of fish, 4 were mislabeled, about 15%. The most surprising result, this piece of white tuna from a Cary restaurant, it was tested twice, and both times came back as endangered scalloped hammerhead shark. There was also mislabeling of some tuna species, though the fish was in the tuna family. However, 3 pieces of higher-end, more expensive bluefin tuna were 100% right. A piece of popular striped sea bass came back as a different type of bass. We also found several other menu items that weren't wrong, but they weren't right either.
A lot of seafood products are what we call soft mislabeled.
By that, Bruno means calling something just tuna instead of the exact species like albacore. In other cases, the mislabeling is extreme.
On average, only about 20% of seafood is mislabeled, but for some types of seafood like red snapper, nearly 100% is mislabeled.
Tracking where that mislabeling happens is difficult. It could be the fishers, the distributors, or the restaurants. What can we do to try to fix this?
So there's a couple things I think we can do to reduce mislabeling. So we need local, state, and federal legislation that makes it illegal to mislabel. We need enforcement of that.
And with sushi's growing popularity and recently growing price, Bruno says better regulation ensures we get what we pay for.
You're paying for a BMW and you got an old used Toyota, right? That's why you should care, right? You're getting ripped off.
And we reached out to the restaurant that served us the shark. We have not heard back. We're still waiting on lab results for some of our other items like squid, octopus, and scallop. We'll share those with you all when we get them. Hopefully, there are no surprises. Deborah.
Boy, fascinating to see the process that those students went through. I can't wait to hear more. WRAL Investigates, Sarah Kruger, thank you.